Hey friends, I'm Laura with The Cozy Tree, where we make cozy goods and share biblical encouragement with others. Welcome to my series, Crochet Basics for Absolute Beginners. This is lesson 7 of the series. Today's video is split into 2 parts. First, we're going to learn how to do a slip stitch, and then I'll show how to fasten off to end your project. I'm going to show you step by step, slowly, multiple times so you don't miss it, and then show how it looks when done faster. Keep in mind that we are using US crochet terms throughout this series. The abbreviation for slip stitch is SLST. So let's get started. Here is a crochet swatch, which just means a test square to test out your stitches before you jump into a project. This swatch is done entirely in single crochets, which I covered in lesson 3. Today I'm going to show you how to create a row of slip stitches across here. The slip stitch is very similar to the single crochet, but it's one less step. So with your project on your hook, we're going to start out like this, and then we're going to rotate it around like starting a new row. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook into the very first stitch, this first V right here. So we're going to insert our hook like that. Now we're going to yarn over, up and over from behind, back to front. And then we're going to hook the yarn and pull it through that first stitch, but we're not going to be done yet. We are going to go ahead and keep pulling that yarn through the next loop. And it can get a little tricky. Sometimes I have to use my finger to pull it over like that. And that is a slip stitch. So I'm going to do it one more time. We're going to put it in the next stitch. We're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, up and over, hook the yarn and pull through, and then keep pulling it through. You can get a little snug, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be a much tighter stitch. So I'm going to do it one more time slowly, and then I will finish up the row at normal speed. So insert your hook, yarn over, up and over, pull it through, and keep pulling it through all the way. Okay, there's 3 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to keep going across the row to finish it up. And then this very last one, there we go. Okay, so that is a whole row of slip stitches. Notice how it's quite a bit tighter than the single crochet rows. Oftentimes a slip stitch is not actually used in this way. It's usually used to join rows when worked in the round, and we'll cover that in another video. It also just kind of tapers off that end, a little snug, a little tighter than a single crochet would be. Now for part 2, I'm going to show you how to fasten off. Fastening off is just a term for finishing your project in a way that won't make your yarn unravel. Super easy. Once you've reached the end of your project, all you got to do is kind of just pull this loose, and then we're going to take some scissors and cut it right there. So I'm just going to snip it. And then you're just going to take this loop and pull it all the way out. And that's it. That's how you fasten off. I usually like to tie a small knot right here just to reinforce it a little. And then it won't come undone. And that is how you fasten off. Now, when you're looking at a crochet pattern, it usually say fasten off and weave in the ends. Weaving in ends just means you take a tapestry needle, put your yarn through it, and just weave it through. This is a tapestry needle, just one of those big plastic needles. And then I'm right-handed, so I'm going to flip it this way. And you just weave it in however it seems to work for you. I try to make it look somewhat uniform. to kind of hide those ends. But it depends on the project too. And then sometimes I'll just kind of go in here. It's really just wherever it looks right. There's no certain way to do it. And then if I can pull it through. And then at that point, I would say that's probably enough. And let's pretend this is the inside of my swatch. So you wouldn't see it on this side. And then I would just take my scissors, snip the excess, and there you go. That's how you would fasten off and weave in the ends. So that's it. We've learned how to slip stitch. We just did it across here. Usually you would do it for other ways in a pattern, but the pattern will tell you, whatever pattern you're using will tell you where and how to use your slip stitch. And then we learned how to fasten off and weave in the ends. So that concludes the basic lessons in this series. We've covered how to slip knot and chain, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, triple or treble crochet, slip stitch, and now fasten off. Remember that all of these lessons are saved into a playlist on my channel called Crochet Basics for Absolute Beginners. Make sure to save that playlist for easy reference in the future. And in the next lessons, we will cover how to do a puff and bobble stitch, how clusters work, and how to stitch in front loops and back loops only, and front post or back post double crochet. These are really useful skills to have to add more complex textures to your projects, and they're pretty fun. So make sure you subscribe so you can be notified of new crochet patterns and tutorials, and I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!